heart of most home recording studios is the Digital Audio Workstation, or DAW. This is where you record, edit, and mix all of your music. Typically, a DAW will contain a project window and a mix window in conjunction with dozens of other windows that pop up for specific purposes. Each of these windows contains a vast array of virtual buttons, knobs, faders, drop-down menus that you interact with using your mouse or touchscreen. It's all very technical and can leave you feeling disconnected from the music. I know staring at a screen all day makes me feel more like a computer programmer than a music creator. Programming can be fun and creative, but making music requires a more tactile approach. It requires the use of more of your senses. It sometimes requires you to dance and move around. And this is why I need a control surface. In a nutshell, the idea of a control surface is to move some of the functions of the DAW in your computer to an external device, giving you more of a hands-on experience. As an example, when you're in a professional studio, you usually have a recording desk available. And this is a large console made up of many individual channels, a master section, and usually a patch bay to connect outboard gear. But every instrument is directly in front of you. A good control surface gives you the same thing, a way to work with each track without ever having to peer into a computer screen. It creates an organic and sense-driven experience. Your fingers interact with the feel of the faders and knobs. In a very real sense, the recording console becomes your instrument. You play it the same way a pianist plays the piano. And that is why, in my humble opinion, one of the first pieces of non-essential equipment you should purchase is the best control surface you can afford. Besides the quality of the build, more money usually equates to more features. At the very least, a control surface should provide motorized faders to control volume and gain levels. Motorized means that the faders on the surface move based on the fader movements from your DAW. While recording, moving the faders on the surface will store those movements in the DAW. Additional features might include knobs for parameter adjustment, to panning, EQ, compression, and other audio effects. Buttons to provide quick access to common functions like soloing, muting, automation, and recalling presets. Transport controls to navigate through your project. Play, stop, rewind, fast forward, loops, markers, etc. Recording buttons to arm a track, monitor the input, and record the input. And display screens that show information about the selected track, the parameter values, and other relevant data. The more features included in the control surface, the less time you'll need to spend moving between the control surface and the computer screen and the mouse. The goal here is to spend as much time on the control surface, your instrument, as possible, and to only switch over to the computer when absolutely necessary. For me, one of the main reasons for spending more is that I want as many channels in front of me as possible. Like the recording console in a big studio, a control surface provides individual channels that you control in real time. Unlike those recording consoles, control surfaces vary widely in the number of discrete channels it provides. When you have more tracks in your DAW than the number of channels on your control surface, then you have to switch banks to bring up the next set of channels in your DAW. And while switching banks is not the worst thing in the world, it can be done quickly, it distracts from the flow. You want as many channels in front of you as possible to properly play your instrument. Now, many control surfaces are initially set up for a specific DAW, Pro Tools, Logic, Cubase, etc. Most, however, allow you to change the setup for whatever DAW you were using. And for that reason, the factory setup for the various buttons and knobs on the surface are usually pretty generic, or in the worst case, just plain wrong for your DAW. Now in those cases, you'll need to reassign those controls to match your specific DAW. The control surface maker will have instructions on how to reassign the controls on the control surface to match that of your DAW. Now, a control surface by itself does not handle analog data signals. It is purely a MIDI interface that provides tactile control over your DAW software. You still need an audio interface to handle audio inputs and outputs, preamps, and DA to AD conversion, digital interface from your DAW. If you would prefer the functionality of both be contained in a single box, then you want a digital mixer. An article on digital mixers will be coming soon. Currently, most control surfaces interface with your computer and DAW via USB. Of course, the connection type will change as technology evolves. Here are a list of some of the more popular control surfaces with prices ranging from low to high. You can find a single channel control surface, but since I am a believer in having more control outside of the box, and I assume most of you will be working with multiple tracks, I'm only including models with a minimum of 4 channels. Now, you can also find models with dials instead of faders. I respect early recording technology, but I think a fader provides a better experience, so I'm only showing models with faders. As always, do your research and find the surface that is best for your needs and your budget. Here's the list. Akai MIDI Mix, starting at $109. Behringer X-Touch Series, starting at $299. The PreSonus Faderport Series, starting at $24.99. The 16-channel model, shown here, starts at $679.99. The Mackie MCU Pro starts at $1,030. Solid-state Logic, starting at $1299.99 for the UF8. Sound Devices CL16, $5,995. The Avid S-Series Yukon-enabled, starting at $1495 for the S1 8-channel desktop unit, and skyrocketing up to $55,595 for the S4 24-channel semi-modular monster. So as I mentioned earlier, this video is intended for systems that have a digital interface connecting to your computer, but no physical contact with each channel. If you're looking for a physical solution that includes mic inputs and preamps, there are digital mixers available that provide physical channel manipulation, inputs and preamps, plus a connection to your DAW. Now, like control surfaces, there are many levels of those to choose from, so look around for the one that matches your needs. I hope you have enjoyed this video on the value that a control surface can bring to your recording and mixing. If you liked it, please subscribe to my channel and be sure to visit thesoundsculptor.com for a wealth of audio information. Thanks, and see you later.